Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Welcome back to the program, everyone. We love getting the great information from Professor Jeff Stein with the Iowa Almanac whenever we can. And I do have to say, being that today is January the 10th, Professor Stein, this is one of my top 10 Iowa Almanacs of all time because of what we're talking about on this day.
One of the top 10.
Yes.
Well, now I got to live up to that billing, don't I? All right. So
absolutely, because this is a pretty big deal.
It is, and it is not as straight a path to success as some might have thought. So let me tell you, Lou, about a company that was organized officially on this day, January 10th of 1893. It was called the Waterloo Gasoline Traction Engine Company. Pretty big name. It was formed by a group of Iowa businessmen led by John Froelich. Now, the year before, Froelich had invented the first practical gasoline-powered tractor. And so his company was set up to manufacture and sell the tractor that Froelich designed. Unfortunately, not exactly a big commercial success at first. They built 4 of these tractors back then, but only 2 were purchased, and both were returned to the company by unsatisfied customers.
Now, this doesn't sound like the business was very successful, Professor.
Well, there was some value to it. And so, therefore, in 1895, only 2 years after they started, Lou, the company was sold to John W. Miller. He decided, we're not going to make tractors anymore, but we are going to keep making these gasoline engines. That's the key to profitability. Well, they studied it some more, much more research and development. And then by 1911, more than a decade later, the company started making tractors again. And they hit upon a successful formula just 2 years after that, with what they called the Waterloo Boy tractor. A year after that, 1914, came the Model R Waterloo Boy, and that one went on to sell more than 8,000 units during a decade of production. And keep in mind, that includes the time of World War I. Now, while that was going on near Waterloo, a Moline farm equipment company wanted to start making tractors, but their designs just weren't working out. So in 1918, that company decided to buy the Waterloo Gasoline Engine Company for $2.1 million. Imagine how much that would have been worth today. And they changed the name of the company to something you might have heard about, the John Deere Tractor Company, Lou.
So that's how John Deere started making tractors. It wasn't really from their own designs, but they purchased another company that was successful. But now here's the kicker. If you're doing something around the house right now or around work, stop what you're doing because this is really cool. Tell us, Professor, how the word tractor came about.
Well, this was actually created by a separate manufacturer from Charles City, Iowa. At the time, Iowa was the headquarters of these things at that time. The engine used to power the machines, the gasoline traction engine, and that's how we got the name tractor, from traction engine. Now, that John Deere company, of course, certainly made its mark in producing tractors, but only after purchasing the Waterloo Gasoline Traction Engine Company, which was formally established, Lou, on this date back in 1893.
So when people say that John Deere invented the tractor, well, mainly the word tractor, we can really go back to the basics, can't you?
Well, and in fact, that word tractor was invented by the guys in Charles City. So what they invented was a good business model, as in, if you can't beat them, buy them. And that's what they did. They bought the company. They knew how to market it. And we've had John Deere green for more than a century since.
What a great story and what great information, what great history from right here in Iowa. Now, people want to go back and revisit what we just got done talking about or visit with any other day of the year, too, and find out what happened in Iowa history. What's the easiest way they can do that?
You go to iowaalmanac.com, different story every weekday, plus 30 radio stations around the state, iowaalmanac.com.
Yeah, Professor, do you get very many comments after a day like today when people listen to this all over the radio around central Iowa and actually Iowa, I should say, and then see it on TV today?
A lot of times when it's something people have heard of like this, sure. Then sometimes people will send an email, and the link's right there at iowaalmanac.com. Or if it's something especially odd or if they think they've caught me in something, or sometimes have caught me in something, we welcome all those comments. By the way, have you ever seen a Waterloo Boy tractor in person?
I'm just wondering if I saw one at the fair, maybe. They had a whole collection of tractors, and maybe that was over there. That's the best chance of it.
Well, down the street from me, this direction as I'm pointing, is the John Deere Tractor Museum. Up the road this way is the Grout Museum District, and they've got early Waterloo Boys, tiny little things that you stood behind like you were walking behind a plow, but really revolutionized a whole industry.
Great stuff. Professor Jeff Stein, we will talk to you next time with another installment of the Iowa Almanac. Have a great day, buddy.
You do the same, Lou. Thanks.
Thank you, and you all have a great day as well. See you back here tomorrow on Iowa Live.